Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the show. No, John, you're so close. Do you see it on the screen?
Yeah, I see it.
So, do you see how your head is?
It doesn't show my face.
Right. So, but you are you going to planning to stand the whole time, or I figured you might be able to sit down.
Oh, I thought you just introduced me.
Right. Gotcha. You can sit in that chair, and maybe I can introduce you, and then. Hey, everybody! Welcome to the show. This is Chat Havers. Let's make a conversation. With us tonight, the poet. I don't know if he's a poet laureate, but he's certainly a lovely poet in my heart. John Gentle, welcome to the show.
Maybe someday I'll be poet laureate.
Maybe someday. Where would you want to be poet laureate, John?
Well, New Jersey,
New
of course.
Jersey.
That's where I lived most of my life.
That's incredible.
Rarely ever left the state. I mean, sometimes I'd go downtown to sort of Greenwich Village, and I'd go to some jazz clubs, and But then I'd always head back to New Jersey.
You wouldn't want to be poet laureate in New
rest my
York?
head. New York. I love foliage.
Right.
I love having, long walks down the highway because I'm a walker. I don't drive.
Right. Long walks down the highway.
And, you just can't really do that as much in New York
What
City.
about Central Park, though, John? I mean, it's one of the biggest parks, on planet Earth.
I mean, I love Central Park.
Oh, that's
I
true.
walk through many times. Sometimes
Right.
they'll have women
Sometimes they'll have women
sunbathing.
sunbathing.
And it's like being at the beach.
Yeah. Yeah. It is like being at the beach.
Mhm.
Maybe, John.
And it's hilly, unlike a beach.
Right.
So you
So
can
they're
perch
slow-
high
you could play
and
perch.
admire.
Respectfully.
Respectfully.
Respectfully, I don't think you should be perching around women at all. Does that make sense? Like that. It's just I know you're sort of a wordsmith, right?
Mhm. Yes.
I consider you a verbose man.
Thank you.
To me, the idea of perching and looking at a woman is there's something very.
Romantic about it.
I wouldn't. Well, I'd say more like. I mean, what perches in your mind?
A little bird on a tree.
A little bird in a tree,
Yeah. So I'm like a little bird.
or maybe like a big buzzard.
Absolutely. Buzzards are beautiful birds too.
Welcome everybody. This is the show. Vertical Mammal. How the fuck did you do that? How did you make it green text? That was crazy. John, have you ever been on Twitch.tv before? Do you know what we're doing here? Or what
I don't speak Chinese. I don't know what you're saying.
Okay, all right.
I don't.
Okay.
What is he
Let's say
talking about?
techies instead of that. Wow, that's incredible. I had no idea you could do that. Folks, tonight this is a call-in show. I'm sure you've maybe gotten that.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're taking calls, but they also the same people that might call can talk to you in the chat.
On the phone.
Well, do you see how there's words on the screen?
Yeah. Could you take those off? It's a little distracting.
Right. Well, they are also in the. I mean, you've performed maybe at a local coffee shop or in front of your students.
Uh-huh.
You imagine there's people in the audience. They're snapping their fingers.
I love that sound.
That's for you probably better than a clap. I have to imagine.
I love a babbling brook after
Yeah.
a nice poem.
That's what's up. So tonight, imagine those names: Crapmaster Zach, Freak Scene. Imagine that's your community. Imagine those are your students, right?
Hello. Zach. Luke.
No, I'm Luke.
Scott. Luke.
Why? You know my name. We've met, man.
When did we meet?
We met we were on a show together,
Uh-huh.
another kind of talk program. And,
Yes.
And we had met, and I think actually we'd met before that. This is probably the third or fourth time we've met, John.
Oh, sometimes I have lots of young people in my
Right.
life, and sometimes I get a little face blind to the males.
Get a little face blind to the males. Well, John, just think of these as, like maybe you could think of actually maybe a great way for you to look at this.
Wait, you were Sarah Squirt's friend.
I was, Sarah Squirm. Yeah.
Squirts.
There you go.
She is very original.
Yes.
And I
would agree.
Sarah.
I would agree. That's cool. They still let you within. Yeah. How old is John exactly? That's a good question. John, how old are
I'll
you?
never tell.
You never tell.
Yeah.
Can we get a
Rest
can we
in
get a
peace, by
range?
the way, Brittany Murphy.
Rest in peace, Brittany Murphy. Why do you say that now?
Well,
Why is she on the mind?
It's I'll never tell. Remember the film
Oh,
where she's in the bathtub and she's naked and she's peering over? It's burned into my
retinas.
into my brain,
John,
into my heart.
Do you know about the reference, or do you know about the site Mr. Skin?
No.
It's a website where you can look up anytime there's a nude scene in a movie.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you go online a lot?
No. I don't own a computer.
Get that out of here. Twitch.tv, Dexwell, ban them. You don't promote your own channel on my channel. Get that out of here. This is what people try and do, John. They come and get you. They try and come into your chat. People are always trying to destroy me on all sides. Have you ever found that's true in your life?
No.
No. People love you and like you.
People don't love me.
That's not true.
People let me pass by.
What about your student? You're a teacher, right?
I was a teacher.
You were a teacher.
You can't hug anybody anymore.
You can't hug it. Is that how you lost your job?
That's I shouldn't be singing that part of that.
You should probably say.
But I continue.
Okay, okay. Let's just get into.
I have a few of those VHS tapes that are sort of compilations.
Oh right,
like
Mr.
you
Skin.
get a
yeah. Well, do you go online? I mean, this is supposed to be good. So I hope this isn't like when the caveman gets put in the future. I mean, there's a lot of technology here, and I kind of think of you. I don't want to call you a Luddite, John, but I'd call you. You're sort of a man of simple pleasures.
I do like the simple things.
Yeah.
I'll take Luddite.
Yeah.
I can make fun of myself.
Okay, all right.
I go to the library sometimes, and I ask the lady at the counter to come over. The very beautiful young lady, and she'll sit me down. She'll show me how to use MSN, and I'm just constantly asking questions, and I'm trying to grab the mouse while she's holding the mouse. I don't know how it works.
Are you allowed at the library still?
I am allowed at the library.
I guess
they allow everybody at the library.
Thank you so much. And shout out to our public libraries, giving many people in this society a place to call home during the day. Well, John, tonight I've invited you on because you are familiar with the idea of a call-in program.
Absolutely, I call in many radio programs,
and so this is sort of like
I'll say, hey,
on freaking ass.
I'll say, hey, can you play some Bix Beiderbecke? Please. I'm aching for it.
And they're like, this is K-Rock 101. We don't really play that kind of crap here.
I'll be a Luddite. They can be Philistines.
Exactly right. And you could quote that. You could write that quote. He could be a Luddite. They can be Philistines. Mm-hmm. So tonight, John, what we're doing here on this program, is a little bit of a contest.
Okay.
And a lot of radio shows that you're familiar with, maybe you call in and you win tickets to Smashing Pumpkins, or maybe in your case,
is that a Halloween activity?
Tickets to the Village Vanguard.
I see.
An incredible, big band on their Monday night big band show. A lot of, Grammy award-winning jazz musicians there. Imagine that. Now, instead of that, you're going to win $5 American. 5 whole American dollars. You could buy half a Chipotle bowl, 2 candy bars.
I don't have extra cash.
You don't need it. This is this is provided by the show.
Oh.
And so what we're doing here is we're taking calls and we're looking for the best poem. Mm-hmm. Now, John, you're a poet, so I thought, who better to judge this contest? I mean, I'll admit it, hand to God, I'm a Philistine. I am a Philistine.
Don't say that about yourself.
No, I am. When it comes to poetry, I don't know my tits from my ass. Green Eggs and Ham is where the sidewalk is. Shel Silverstein is just about where all I get. Studied John.
I have a lot in common with Shel Silverstein.
We'll
talk about it after the show.
I'd love to hear about it because I'm a huge Shel head.
Sexual things. All right.
Well, then we will talk about it after the show. So, folks, tonight we have John, and what we're asking from you is to call in with a poem. Zach asked earlier, can it be a freestyle rap? Well, I'll ask you, John, is a freestyle rap a poem?
Look, and this might annoy some of my peers,
right?
But I think that rap music is poetry.
You do.
set to music.
I have to be honest. I really, really was expecting you to say the opposite, John.
Oh, well, look, I have a lot of brothers of another color,
All right. Well,
and I respect what they do. In fact, Gil
Right.
Scott Heron, they say, was one of the first rappers, and he was a poet.
right.
The last poets, Newark, New Jersey.
He was from New
These
Jersey.
are the godfathers of
I'm-
rap.
I
couldn't tell you a rapper post 1971.
post 1971. I think of that as sort of post the birth of the movement, though, right?
I would say I don't know.
Sugar Hill gang. No, I'm probably a bit over your head.
I don't like the gangster.
So, okay, all right. Well, let's cool it on that stuff.
Pull your
John.
pants up. Come on, people.
Yeah, all right. So tonight we're taking calls, and so according to John, he's making the rules here. Freestyle raps are allowed, poems are allowed. I guess, John, what I'd like to know is what kind of criteria would you use to judge a poem? Like, what are you looking for in a good poem?
I want to feel it. I don't want to hear it. I want to feel it in my
I don't
heart.
want to hear it. I want to feel it. Can it be beat poetry?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's sort of like the middle ground between rap and poems.
Well, all right.
All right, sorry. I just tried to relate. My bad. That's not quite right. I'm learning, John.
You know what I like about this area, California, which I'm very new to, is that
Right.
driving up and down the PCH. There's so many places that the old beats used to hang out in.
Yeah.
And, I feel that energy, and it's inspiring me. And to have a bunch of young, may I call it your viewers students?
I'd like to think at least tonight they're sort of students of yours, John. I'd like to lend this audience to you so they might be able to kind of leave this. I feel like something I really have been not liking about the show is not educational enough. So I wanted to bring on an educator, a learned man, a read man, a well-read man, and to kind of educate us, right?
Yeah.
That's true. I was an SAT tutor, so I was a teacher too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now we're part of the brotherhood.
Yep. We could join the union together.
Mhm.
Well, I couldn't, but maybe
I actually can't either.
you can't either, right? So folks, the phone lines are open. We're taking calls. If you have a poem, it can be short, it can be long, it can be off the dome, it can be written down, and at the end of the night, we will judge what is the best poem. You okay, man? Do you need a little more room on your mic?
No, I'm just testing it.
Okay, you're just seeing how far you can walk around.
Yeah.
I kind of like to keep the guests a little tethered.
I like
'cause-
to kind of absorb, if I was in a classroom and
Right.
somebody was reading some of their work in a creative writing class, I will kind of turn my back to the room and maybe just kind of pace myself. And it's not that I'm not listening; it's that I'm listening more.
Right. It's sort of like you're walking around. Well, we're kind of trying. Do you think tonight maybe you can use it? Can it be stolen or originals only?
Originals only.
Originals only. Can you use Chat GPT?
Again,
Yeah, he's a Luddite. He doesn't know what that is,
don't know
Max,
what
so
this is.
go crazy. He's not really sure about that one.
Is that a rapper?
No. It's you know what, John, don't worry about it. I think there's probably a lot tonight you're going to see here that might be a little bit confusing to you, but you don't have to. It's just kind of take it in, take in
Okay.
the moment. This is kind of like Star Wars. You know what I mean? It's very similar to how it was made.
The Reagan era.
The Reagan era, the start. Well, they never really are able to complete that.
Yeah.
So I'm talking more the movie.
Oh.
But they
All
are, they're working on Star Wars. Well, I don't want to get into where because I'm sort of worried. Maybe I don't really want to get into world politics with you. You guys know, in a way, Robert Frost was like a rapper ahead of his time.
I will say that to my students. In fact, verbatim.
Really?
Yes.
What? Class?
Two roads diverged in the yellow. What?
Please. I'm wondering.
I'm sorry I could not travel both. I don't know how they dance.
Do you know? Okay. I thought. Is that all you know, or are you just kind of holding? it?
I'm embarrassing myself.
Gotcha. McDougal, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. That means they've subscribed to the channel, John. Isn't that incredible?
Oh, how much money does that cost?
Well, it costs them $5, and then
Mhm.
I get $2.50 of that.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So it's, it's okay. How do we compensate for the fact that poems frequently have a visual aspect? What do you mean?
Well, I think they're meaning acrostic poetry.
Right.
Do your best. I'm seeing words on the screen, so
And maybe it's like you say it on the phone and then you write it in the chat and we can kind of see both. But we're not
Yes.
taking, I gotta be honest tonight, guys. The performance is part of it, so we're not taking it will not work if you submit your poem in the chat. We will only be taking it over the phone. And if you'll notice, the phone number is different. We went back to the old phone number. We're back on Google Voice. John, don't worry about this part. We're back on Google Voice, and shit is popping off.
is that a bad thing?
No, that's good. It's good that shit's popping off. John, I was wondering if you had any poems to share. To kind of, I kind of like, because I think a lot of people maybe haven't written a poem before,
Yes.
and maybe I thought maybe we could wet their beaks a little bit by hearing one of the masters do it, and we kind of go from there.
I like that.
I'm a
wet
huge
your
fan.
beaks.
John, I'm a huge
Wet
fan.
your beaks.
Wet your beaks. I mean, you can maybe throw that in a poem.
No.
Okay. All right.
You were not my girlfriend, but you came with me to prom. And you were at my graduation, but you were not my dad or mom. And you were with me at the diner when I got myself a treat. This poem is for you. Ode to Empty Seat. Thank you.
I mean, John, that was legitimately moving. And I kind of thought maybe it was going in a direction I wasn't going to like. But then you really, you kind of landed in a place where I was like, that's a really beautiful turn of phrase. I mean,
Thank you.
is that sort of based on something that happened in your own life or just sort of an imagined
Yeah.
character?
When I go to a funeral, I put on a tie that is funny. Because in a sea of dreary black, it's nice to see a Bugs Bunny.
It's like a limerick.
Yes.
Is that what
Sometimes they're fun and whimsical.
Sometimes they're fun.
Mhm.
You ever do that for real?
Early Sunday morning, alone on Hudson Street, looking at the towers where they used to be. Lives were lost and wars began, but that's not why I cry. It's that missing piece of city filled with empty sky. 9/11. Sometimes I do put on a Bugs Bunny tie, actually, and it's very fun.
At a funeral?
Absolutely, yes.
Really?
I have one.
You've done it once or you have one?
No, I have
tie?
one Bugs Bunny tie.
How many times have you been to the funeral?
I don't get invited to many, but I will attend strangers' funerals.
Interesting.
There's no rule.
There's no. How
There's
do you
no
find
rule.
them? Is there like some sort of?
I know the homes and the graveyards, and
Right.
I don't know if you've ever seen the film Harold and Maude, but
Yes.
I always have appreciated it because I like to hang out in graveyards myself,
Right.
and sometimes I hope to maybe make a connection with one of the mourners, but that's very rare, if ever.
Right. Sort of a shoulder to cry on.
Yeah.
Reminds me of that picture of the NYC skyline. In place of the towers are white boxes with little red X's like the Internet Explorer image not found display. EGI2, welcome. Friends of the show. You have to get, John, do you have poetry for kids? That's a great question.
Yes, I do. Next stop, New York, yelled to the last two in the car. With her, it felt like minutes, but we had gone so far. Sitting with a girl who would one day star in my dreams, she put a hand upon my knee and woke the snake inside my jeans.
All right, man. That's not really for kids, is it?
Well, hold on.
Okay.
I
sorry.
started off slow with one and then two fingers. Didn't wash my hands for days. I wanted it to linger.
Jesus Christ. All right, man. Let's take
And if kissing was tongue with like jazz, I would call it Charles Mingus. But I'm like Miles Davis when it comes to cunnilingus. I tasted her gash. She ran off in a dash. She was gone in a flash, and she left with my hash. And I was left with an empty bottle of gin and a little bit of a mess on my chin. And the kids will like that because it is a poem about the time I met Joni Mitchell.
It's like, it's like, okay. In what sense is it about the time you met Joni Mitchell?
She was the woman on the train.
But you didn't have relations with her. It was sort of like what you imagined.
No, we had relations.
You hooked up with Joni Mitchell.
I used to carry a guitar case and put my poetry in it because, like I said, poems are music without song.
Right.
And she saw it. And I said, "Oh, fellow musician," and maybe it wasn't Joni Mitchell, but I think it was.
Probably maybe it was. All right, we got a call coming in, John. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your name? And what are you thinking? What are you excited to share your poem with us?
Hey, what's up? This is Bob Jones. I'm pretty excited to share my poem. Actually, I was going to ask, can I do a freestyle rap instead of a poem? Does that count as poetry?
I think we addressed this already.
Yeah. It's fine, right, John?
Yes.
Okay.
All respect to my brothers from another color.
All right. Yes, that
All
is
right.
what he said the first
Come on,
time.
Dad. Okay. Dirt don't hurt, all make you squirt. I've got a shirt and I put it in the dirt. My name is Bob and I'm here to say my name is Bob and that's my way. I rap all the time. That's the best I can. I'll put it in your hand because I'm the man. You don't know how to rhyme because you're a fool. I'll take your head and dunk it in a pool. In and out of the pool. Then I'm going to start waterboarding you. That's what I'm going to do with my rhyme. If it did it for real, I would do some time.
All right. Thank you, Bob Jones. And I'll go right to the source. John, what do you think about that?
Well, I love creativity, and I love when somebody goes out and goes out on a limb,
right,
to show their art. And I find that very respectful, and I want to encourage that. However, that poem was very bad.
Right.
It was very, very bad.
Bob,
I suggest you take a creative writing class at your local college or night school because it's very embarrassing.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize to me.
It's okay.
Just do better
sorry.
next time.
Well, I guess, what would you rate it out of 10, I guess?
I rated it 0 out of 10.
0 out of 10. Bob, that's not great.
Oh, man.
And look, I don't want to stifle your creative juices.
Right.
I don't
This is a
stifle anyone's
contest.
juices.
We have to,
But yeah, there's a hard 0.
Man.
It's got to come from your heart.
That is my heart.
No,
It does. I got to agree with John here. It didn't really seem like it was your heart. It seemed like you were kind of just free associating.
that was barely coming from your noggin.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you guys suck. You don't know anything about art.
What are you? Wait, caller.
hope-
Before we let you go, what if I told you this? What if I told you this? Because let's. What if I give you a bet?
Don't know anything about.
All right, John. Just cool it.
Okay.
Let's do this. What if we give you one more chance?
Okay.
Because it's freestyle, so I mean, you're making this off of the dome.
Yeah.
So can we try it? Do you want to try one more time?
Okay. I think I could do something a little bit better.
Can I give you a piece of advice?
What's that?
Have you ever loved and lost?
Yeah. Yeah, I have.
Use that.
Use that. I have to agree with John. I think that would really get us more in the ballpark of what. And remember, caller, I think what's important here is that though this is a contest, remember that John is the judge, the jury, and the executioner in this case. And he is deciding whether you live or die and get this $5. So what I'm saying to you is, I'm not going to give you too much advice here, but give the man what he wants. Okay,
Bob, I'm rooting for you.
He's rooting for you, Rob.
Okay.
And I believe
Bob
in you.
Jones. All right, whenever you're ready.
A beautiful sunset between you and me. the August night, watching the leaves from the trees changing different colors. I just want it, please. Bring me back to those times, those feelings, those unforgettable rhymes. The rhymes from my raps are really cool. They're really fun when I think of you. When I wrap you up in a special way, I rapped all the time, every single day. Me and you, we were a pair. But separated, I was scared. I couldn't leave. The trap you made poisoned me, took me, and made me afraid. I don't know how to spend my time because without you, I never feel fine. I'm so sick and I'm so sad. The rhymes and the raps are all I have. I can't stop rhyming. If I do it, it'll be a crime because my name is Bob Jones and I'm here to say I miss you every single day.
I like the ending.
You didn't
Everything else was really bad.
Really?
It was really,
Oh,
really
yeah.
bad.
Bob, that's not. Bob, I thought. What about the? I thought he kind of maybe lost it, and the halfway and sort of did the whole "I'm a rapper and I'm here to say." But the leaves on the trees.
I love foliage. I love
beautiful.
foliage.
Yeah.
But
What
I
was
wish
the-
I didn't rate the first one a 0 because now I can't rate this one lower.
That was worse to you.
That was much
Oh, man.
worse.
Bob. I'm sorry.
I don't
man.
have anything. I don't know what I'm gonna do now. That was my last chance.
I know, man.
You know, that was my Eminem moment.
I know. Listen. Unfortunately, for the sanctity of the show, I can't rate you, but I would rate you at least a 6 out of 10 for that one, Bob. I want you to know
Thank you, Luke.
a solid
Thank you.
6.
I
Scott.
appreciate you.
All right.
But
Well, Bob-
John, fuck you.
Oh,
Bye.
well, we got another call coming in.
Not the first time I've heard those words.
I know it, man. All right. Hello, caller.
What up?
Hello. Welcome to the show.
Hello, John. It's Sam.
Hello.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Should I just get right into it?
Yeah. I mean, if you don't have any questions or anything to preamble with, just jump into that poem.
And then, look, I just wanted, I know I was somewhat harsh
Right.
on this last,
You were. I got to
poet.
admit, you were pretty harsh.
but don't let that intimidate you. This is a
Right.
clean slate.
Right.
And already you seem more polite. And I'm
Polite?
excited to hear what you have to say.
Can I ask for a little participation on your end?
What?
Can you guys snap?
Yeah. Like a beat.
Yeah.
All right, John, take it away. It's a little. I assume you want a steady beat, Sam?
I mean,
sort of-
ideally, but I'll work with whatever.
You should maybe handle this.
Okay. You kind of just follow my lead.
All right. He could not have been more perfect in any way. And I sometimes ask myself how I got so lucky. Women hit on him constantly and ask me how I landed him. So I can't help but wonder why a charismatic, handsome, successful man with women literally throwing themselves at him would need such a hyper-realistic humanoid sex doll. He must have literally spent thousands of dollars on it. It looks like a legit, real woman. And I might add, she has way bigger tits than me, so that's fun too. I guess I don't like it, but I don't know how to address it. And even though this gave me major ick, I'm still terrified of losing someone so perfect. And if you're wondering how I found it, I was returning one of his sweatshirts to his closet and saw it. He was super nonchalant about it, as if I'd just stumbled upon a fleshlight or something. Had it been a fleshlight, I would not have cared at all.
Interesting.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful, Sam. It felt very like almost like a diary entry turned into beautiful beat poetry.
Yeah, I used to go to beat poetry in the Bay Area, and there was a lot of diary poets.
Right. Yeah. Is that like a type of poet? I don't really know much about it. Well, you know what? I think maybe I will do this. I'm going to say my score again. It doesn't matter, but I'd give that 7 or 8 out of 10. That was honest. It was from the heart. It was funny. A little disgusting with the sex doll stuff, but to each his own. John, what did you think?
Well, anything I have to say that's negative, please don't take to heart, because I do feel the pain in this.
Mm-hmm.
When it started, I got wistful, I got emotional, because I said, that's me. I've been in that boat.
Right.
And then
You've been the stunning man with women throwing themselves at him.
well, I wish. I've been the one watching as somebody else ropes everybody in, and I'm stuck on the sidelines and hoping that special one will notice me. So emotionally, I really connected with this. However, this poem was a mess. And once you started talking about the sexual aid in a negative way, I felt like this was perhaps a personal attack. Maybe you know things about me that are not public. So I have to give this a 0.
I don't think it was wait, hold
This
on.
was his.
Hold on.
It's a travesty of a poem.
No, hold on. I don't think that's completely fair. You can't. You thought it was a personal attack, so you're giving it a 0.
Well, it's about somebody having. These things are not common.
Is this your situation? I mean, how would I know that?
Yeah, this person doesn't know me. Nobody's been in my apartment.
So, okay, all right, Sam, I guess I have to follow up and ask you, is this a personal attack on John?
Well, I might know him.
You might know him.
Are you somebody who's held a candle for me?
No, I mean, like, I've seen you do, like, you live perform.
This is not what I'm doing. I thought maybe you were somebody interested in me, and then I would have bumped up the grade. But no, it's a failing grade. I'm so sorry.
Okay. All right, I guess so.
You shouldn't attack people for whatever sexual aids they use.
I mean, it's a poem because I'm exploring it, right?
And
like just talking about it is like
yes.
a certain level of being okay with it.
Okay, you get a 1.
Yay!
Well, Sam, congratulations. That is 1 point better than our last caller. So you are in the lead. How does that feel?
Heck yeah. That feels awesome.
Incredible. All right. Well,
thank you, John. Thank you, Luke.
Thank you, Sam. Take care.
It's just it's a sexual aid.
It's sexual what?
It's a sexual aid. Look, I don't know a lot about these sex dolls or what are the best brands or whatever, but they've made incredible. You're calling me a Luddite, but I know a lot about the technology that goes into these.
So it seems like
very lifelike.
Okay, at least are knowledgeable about the subject of this poem.
Yes.
What is in your mind a good poem? What should it do? Can I tell you what I think it should do? Elicit emotions.
Mm-hmm. And that one did.
Right. So I'm wondering why then it elicits emotions. Like all great art, it made you think and made you passionate. I saw the emotions rise up in you, and yet you still got 1 above the worst score possible.
Well, it was sloppy work. I get. Look, this is what I've done.
What was sloppy about it?
I feel like I'm back at the college with some student being like, "Why did you give me an F on this?"
Well,
I say because it's sloppy.
Okay, I'm sorry. I will, and I think we're coming from my tone, and so I'm going to take my tone out of it.
And then they'll say, "Is there anything I can do to get a better grade in this?" And then I'll say, "No." I would always say no to that question.
How much is reasonable to spend on a sex doll, John?
About $1,200
$1,200
for like a well, it depends. It depends on what you're looking for. If you're really just looking for durability, $1,200 will get you a solid doll. But
Is durability
once you want the more lifelike,
right?
if you want a Simone, say,
Like the type of person? What do you mean, like a Samoan?
it's a brand.
It's a brand,
And
okay.
the Simones are great, but those will run you about $10,000.
Right. Not on a teacher's budget, right, John?
No, I mean you could go into the headquarters and look at the models, but that's all the way in Poughkeepsie, New York, and who has the train fare for that?
Poughkeepsie has a sex doll place. I'm thinking of that more of as a college town.
It's actually the sex doll capital of the world.
Poughkeepsie, New York is really,
All of upstate New York is really,
they're just everywhere.
yeah.
Is there much of a used market for these things?
I've tried.
I'm at Wendy's. What does everyone want? Anna, I want a spicy chicken sandwich and the pumpkin spice frosty.
And when I go to Wendy's to read the newspaper, I ask for a warm water.
Like from the sink?
Yeah, from it doesn't matter what, it's a water, so it's free.
I mean, but the water in the soda fountain's going to be cold.
Well, that's why you use the water from the coffee maker. You ask them to pull out the coffee tray.
Oh, it's like, I'm not to split hairs here, but that almost feels like a hot water. And I'm just being very clear. You said warm water. So are you, in your eyes, is it like, could you make tea in the water you're drinking?
Well, then I will add some water from the soda fountain. To balance it out.
To balance it out. So you get scalding hot coffee water.
Yeah.
And then you get, why warm water, John?
Well, I'm going to be sitting there for about 6 hours.
Right.
Don't want to get all stomach problems or eat whatever garbage they sell.
But cold water what's the problem with that? I mean, that seems more pleasant on
Hurts my teeth.
Hurts your teeth. Fair enough. So, man, almost lukewarm water. Hey, that's my name. It's kind of funny.
Lukewarm?
My name's Luke. So, like, the phrase lukewarm kind of...
News to me.
Okay. Oh, John. While we wait for more calls. Sorry, I feel like I'm one of those beat poets now, the way I'm snapping.
Uber in the tuba. Bam, boom, 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 boom.
John, I thought you couldn't fucking hold a beat, remember? But,
Don't patronize
well,
me.
no. I just thought because I think you'll admit you had a little bit of trouble with the beat poetry, but then when it comes to jazz, you're a natural. I mean, you didn't miss a note.
Well, I have a hard time with the cymbal beats, but the more complicated jazz beats kind of come naturally.
Gotcha. Are you
Kind of a 3/4? Sorry?
Are you a musician yourself?
No, but I write poetry, so yes.
Right. That is the same. It's the same thing. Have you ever
Music without
free
songs.
or what do they call it? Spoken jazz?
Spoken word?
Spoken word, but like brownity zoodity za za za. Like you ever do that kind of thing?
Yeah, I like that a lot.
I mean, I could see you were very good at it, but I didn't know if that was what that was or if you were just impersonating the instruments.
No, I was doing a bit of scat.
Jazz is about the notes you don't play, so is poetry.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Maybe you could throw that in a poem.
Yeah.
Folks, what we're doing tonight is we're looking for poems. The contest is $5 to whoever can impress John Gentle the most with their poems. So far, we've had 2 poems, and their scores have been 0 out of 10 and then 1 out of 10. All right. We got a call coming in. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Who's calling in tonight?
My name is Zach. I'm Vertical Mammal in the chat.
Zach, welcome. Great to hear your voice. Great to have you here.
Where are you calling from, Zach?
Zach, where are you calling from?
Washington State.
Why?
Nothing. Move on.
Okay. Zach, do you have a poem you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, I've got one about feelings, or I've got one about old coins. Which one would you rather hear?
I mean, do you have feelings about old coins? I'd like to hear them both.
Okay.
I like
fair.
Zach. I feel good about Zach.
Okay, feels good about you, Zach. This is a good sign.
Well, awesome. Let's carry that through the poetry on into the ratings.
Yep.
All right. So the first one is on a shelf in my closet is a tin full of old coins. You can't spend them anywhere. Some come from countries that no longer exist. Others have been replaced by the euro, a more mundane fate. Still others were never legal tender at all. Maybe I should scatter them, a handful at a time, or leave them in tip jars, or glue them to the sidewalk. Or maybe, through their provenance and their scarcity, they become more valuable than the creators could have conceived.
I thought that was legitimately very beautiful, Zach.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, that was amazing. And I guess, John, do you want to give your thoughts now, or do you want to hear both poems and then to give them at the end?
I could give my thoughts now.
Okay, so Zach, and here's what I want you to know: whatever comes next, I really enjoyed it, and if it was up to me, that would be an 8 or 9 out of 10. But let's see what John has to say.
Well, like you, I collect old coins, mostly American currency, pennies. And actually, my fingers smell like pennies.
God, dude, don't. Okay. Yeah, earlier you said your fingers smell like coochie, so I don't really want you.
When did I ever say they
That
smell
was in your
like?
poem.
What is coochie?
Vagina. You were,
Oh.
you did a whole thing.
Once
about
upon a time.
Okay, all right.
I thought this was a very, very good piece of work. I think it would, if you were to send it into a newspaper for an opinion column, it would be well received. However, as a work of poetry, I'm gonna have to say you really, really messed this one up. This was maybe the worst poem I've heard tonight.
What? Okay, all right. Let's dig into this though, because I think Zach would like to hear us. The audience would like to know what is this poem missing, or what do you think it is not hitting the mark? Because I hear this
Meter,
poem,
structure,
meter, structure, everything has to be.
heart.
I thought there was quite a lot of heart. It was talking about.
It seemed analytic. It seemed like he has opinions about his old coins, but he was really just listing
right.
facts. I wanted some heart. So this next one that's about feelings,
all right, Zach.
I think you're talented. You're a talented person to write a letter to the editor. But
right.
let's hear this other poem.
Okay.
Well, it does have more heart, although it probably doesn't have much more meter. All right. Solace can be found in the cracks in the sidewalk, in the gleam of an eye, and the smell of used books. Seek it out in the depths of the fridge, the best laid plans, and the scent of her perfume, clinging to your hoodie for the next few days, reminding you of that night.
What is a hoodie?
A sweater.
Okay.
Sweater. Much like you, like sort of like what you have on, but imagine there's a hood on it.
Okay. Yeah, I just needed that context.
Now you understand. Yeah. I mean, again, for me, opinion doesn't matter. Another banger from Zach. John, what do you think?
I like that.
You did.
I did. I love the smell of old books. I love the smell of lingering perfume.
Yeah.
I thought you did very good. I'm going to give it a 2.
You're going to give it a 2.
Yeah.
Well, Zach,
Thank you
congratulations.
very much.
Zach, you are in the lead now.
Hooray.
Great. Thank
That's
you so
exciting.
much for sharing your poetry. It was very beautiful.
And Zach, I hope someday she comes around.
Mhm. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for calling in. All right. Take care.
Y'all have a good night.
Did he make that noise?
No, that's the computer.
No, I thought he was
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
doing his own vocal tune.
No. Yeah. That'd be actually like jazz.
You know?
That would be kind of fun if you, I mean, you probably have a voice an answering machine at home.
I don't get many calls.
But if you did, I mean, you have like a answering, like a,
Once upon a time,
there's like a voicemail message.
and
You
then
get
it
a message.
broke but not for overuse.
So you can't get voice. Well, okay. Imagine a world where you could get a voicemail.
Okay.
Now, here's something I'm going to pitch you. I think would be kind of fun.
Yes.
Imagine you call, ring, ring, hello, John Gentle. No one answers. A 1 straight minute of you going like boo ba doo 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 ba da 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 da. But okay, I know I can see you're wincing a little bit, but imagine you're doing it. It's very amazing. It's some of the most powerful jazz. And then at the end, you say, "Sorry, that wasn't jazz. That was me, John Gentle. Leave a message."
Or I could say, sorry, that wasn't jazz. That was the Carson theme song.
Was that the? Oh, that's sort of a roast on what my thing sounded like. All right, man. I was just trying to give you an idea. Was that the Carson theme song?
I said, well, it just sounded as a, you know,
Right,
they were good musicians on that show.
Who's Carson's band?
I'm not sure.
not
I don't
sure.
really like popular music in that sense.
Beatles. No, that'd be nowadays. Nowadays. Oh man, total staircase wit. I just thought the best response to John wishing that my girl would come around someday. All right, we got a call coming in, John. You ready? Hello, caller.
Hey, it's the Bowman.
Boomer, what's up, dog? How you doing?
All right.
Got a poem?
Prepared a few lines, yes.
All right.
Hey, Boner, where are you coming from?
Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
You gotta know the terroir. You gotta know where the poet's coming from.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Gentle John won't cut the chat a break, but this is the best poem I can make. I hope it meets the standards of our judge, but from my principles I will not budge. Creativity has no protocol. A poem is just words, and that is all. So let us just have our fun and games, and please stop calling all of us bad names. We're only here because we want to chat. And if I have to rhyme it, that is that. But we are only gamers. Mercy, please. I offer these few lines on bended knee.
Wow.
I mean, I think that's good.
I'm kind of calling you out. It's kind of at you, man.
Yeah,
I
that's
gotta say.
that's sort of now I'm liking that, and I'll tell you why. That's sort of almost a meta text of what we're doing tonight, and I hope what I'm hoping, Bowmore, is that John can appreciate that because he was looking for meter, he was looking for structure.
I'm sure he's already noticed the iambic pentameter.
I have.
So I'm wondering if what we're going to see is John a reliable narrator or an unreliable one because he's said what he wants, and I believe this poem has in fact given him what he wants. Will he show the craft the respect it deserves, or will he give in to his base human emotions, even though it happened to also be about him? John, take it away.
Well, there's two kinds of bad students. One is a bad student who is reading a comic book during class, not paying attention to the professor, brains in the clouds, daydreaming. And then sometimes there's a student who will actually challenge the professor.
Right.
And say, hey, let me examine your worldview right now because I'm a growing adult. I have my own thoughts and theories about things.
Uh-huh.
And I've always appreciated that mentality because one time I was that young man. I was the young whippersnapper saying, wait a minute, jazz can be art.
Right.
Or something to maybe a stuffy old professor back in the day. However, those are bad students because they don't respect the professor. This is a 0 for the disrespect.
Oh, man.
Hang up on him.
All right. Sorry, Bowmore. That's a 0 for
God
John.
damn it.
Yeah, sorry, man.
God damn it.
I don't know,
I'm so sorry, Boner.
Unfortunately, that's, yeah. Well, right now, Zach is in the lead with a 2.
Mm-hmm.
Bob got a 0. Sam got a 1. So 2 is the score to beat. Bowmore.
I mean, anybody with a modicum of talent can beat it too.
Well,
this is out of a scale of 10, not 5.
I'm wondering. Yes, we made that clear. I'm wondering. You have no. Okay, we got a call coming in. I'm just surprised you have no. As a sort of seemed like a rebellious man yourself, you have no sort of. Well, all right. Let's just get into this. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your name?
This is Moltar Ben from chat.
Maltar Ben, welcome to the program. Do you have a poem you'd like to share?
Where are you calling from?
Where are you calling from?
My basement.
His basement.
Where's your basement located?
Underneath my house.
I like the mystery.
I like the mystery as well. They don't, John. I think we need to be clear. They don't have to tell you where they are.
I'm not going to give an original composition. I'm going to give a recitation.
Okay.
Okay. This is Pied Beauty by Gerard Manley Hopkins.
Okay.
Glory be to God for dappled things, for cows of coupled colors. Fuck. Try
Okay,
again.
take your time.
Glory be to God for dappled things, for cows of coupled skies of coupled cows. I can't do it.
You don't? Are you sure? What
Last
happened?
try. This is Pied Beauty by Gerard Manley Hopkins.
Okay.
Glory be to God for dappled things, for skies as coupled color as brinded cows, for rose moles all in stipple upon trout that swim, fresh fire coal chestnut falls, finches' wings, landscapes plotted and pieced, fold, fallow, and plow, and all trades, their gear and tackle and trim. All things counter, original, spare, strange. Whatever is fickle, freckled, who knows how, with swift, slow, sweet, sour, a dazzle dim, he fathers forth, whose beauty is past change. Praise him. I did love the show.
Maltar, that was incredible. And I mean, I want to say, he left. Maltar, that was incredible. I hope you're still in the chat. I gotta say, the added drama of the sort of the stop and it only to me added to the performance. I liked it. I thought it was it was beautiful.
Yes, I will have to agree with you.
Yeah.
If I were to remove points for nerves, I would not be John. I'm nervous.
You'd be John Serious. John Hard, not John Gentle.
I can't think of the amount of times when I've walked up to a beautiful waitress at a diner and I would just not be able to get the words out, even if I had rehearsed them in my head over and over again. Right. So the fact that we broke through that, I really respect.
Mm-hmm.
And the work itself was beautiful. Right. Now, I don't believe in God because who would let a guy live a life like this? But I do believe in angels, and I do believe in just the beauty of nature in the natural world. And
John, did you see what kind of God would let you live a life like this?
Yeah, things can be hard.
I hate to hear that, man.
Sorry.
I guess you're just a realist, man. But I hope you don't. John, we love you, man. We really do.
Yeah. So the poem, I have to give a respectful 8.
An 8.
However, that was not original work,
right?
So that'll be disqualified.
That is disqualified. Yeah. So Maltar Ben, thank you.
Great performance.
Best performance of the night. I will have to say,
but lazy.
But lazy. To give a recitation. So Maltar Ben disqualified.
Plagiarism.
I'd like to say it's not plagiarism. People give recitations all the time.
That's true.
So you were disqualified, but I'm going to say you were disqualified with honors.
Absolutely.
With honors.
Yes.
With honors. Incredible.
And when I imagined where the basement was, I imagined it was in New Jersey. So
That's
I
real.
gave
So
you
you got
points
you
for
got
that.
extra points for that. The grades are out of 10. I have a topical poem. May I share it in chat? Yes, Ted, but we've shared the rules. You will not be entered into the contest. We will still give you a grade, but we're giving a triumphant hurrah for the spoken word tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna keep it to the calls, but please go ahead and share it. Maybe we'll have John read it out.
Should I read this?
Please.
Roses are red. Violets are violet. When you get on flight from Alaska, beware of extra pilot. I don't fly.
You don't fly, so this isn't going to be. I'm not sure, Ted. Is this something that happened today on an Alaska flight? I don't really. I'm trying to keep up on the news as much as I can, but this I'm a little. There was a story in the news.
I'm more of an Amtrak kind of guy if I need
Sure.
to go coast to coast, which I've done.
I got you. Really remind me of someone I might see on a Greyhound bus.
Well, that's the most convenient way to travel.
Right.
And you can make so many friends at a Greyhound bus.
Really,
You're not going anywhere. You can just reach out to a stranger and say, "Can I borrow your ear for the next 3 hours?"
Right.
And you can really get a lot of yourself out to that person.
I really want to take the Empire Builder to Chicago. I also do Vertical Mammal.
I don't like Chicago.
Really, you don't like Chicago? There was
Just the whole idea of it doesn't really scream.
there was an off-duty pilot who had
Now the play. I like to play a lot.
Is that a song
I
from it?
like to play a lot.
Is that in Chicago?
Do you want to have fun? Fun.
Sure. I want to.
Do you want to have fun? Laughs. Fun. Laughs.
You kind of lost the beat.
Do you want to have fun? Laughs.
All right, man. Just it's not cheap to buy mics.
It got wet because my hands are very sweaty.
right. I don't. You don't have to. I believe you.
Pennies. I didn't even touch
Why
a
do
penny
they smell
today.
like? Do your hands always smell like pennies?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. There was an off-duty pilot who had a mental illness episode while he was in the cockpit
Aw.
after he tried to take off to shut the engine off to crash the plane. Well, happens to the best of them. That's why there's only 2 pilots. Do you know that? In case one dies. Or
Yeah.
He got
9/11
shot-
situation. And let's take a moment.
if you were a pilot.
Let's take a moment
Okay, I'm
to
sorry.
never forget.
You thought I was talking about 9/11.
No, you brought up a plane situation, and I was actually in Passaic, New Jersey when the planes hit.
I was going to ask you because it's come up a couple times tonight. Where were you on 9/11? What was going on? I'd love to hear your story.
Well, I woke up at 11 a.m.
Mhm.
and saw the news. And I saw the smoke.
Could you see it from Passaic?
I could see it billowing. I could see the top of the smoke
Off in the distance.
in the distance, yeah.
Okay.
But I feared for my life because I thought, well, they got New York, they got Washington, Passaic.
Passaic's the third target, not Boston or Philadelphia or.
I don't know if you know the rich history of Passaic, New Jersey.
I don't.
Hotlips Houlihan.
Who?
Are you familiar with the show MASH?
I've watched MASH.
Do
but
you know the Shirelles?
Yes. Okay, so an
Passaic.
actor from MASH and the.
Did you ever
Shirelles.
watch Saturday Night Live when you were growing up in the 80s?
I'm a little bit younger than that, but
Okay.
I've seen that era.
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Joe Piscopo from
Mr.
Passaic,
Joe
New Jersey.
Piscopo. Passaic. Your name's Joe Piscopo, and a Piscopo from Passaic.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of an
And
interesting.
maybe
idea.
he's Episcopalian.
Yeah, there we go. Now we're having fun, John. All right.
Now I'm the comedian.
Now you're the.
Now I'm the
You're
comedian.
funny, man. I mean, I've always enjoyed your sort of wry sense of wit.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so you saw the smoke billowing, and what happened?
Yeah.
You were scared.
So I said, I'm not going out again. And I didn't for the rest of the year.
Rest of the year,
Rest of the calendar year, yes.
calendar year. So that was only 3 months.
Well, what is a calendar year?
Um,
I didn't go out for 12 months.
You did go out for 12 months, so that's a full. Maybe that is a
And
calendar.
then I did leave the house on 9/11/2002 because they were honoring the victims, which I considered myself one of.
You were a victim of 9/11.
I was.
In what way?
Emotionally.
Emotionally a victim. Well, I got to be honest, John. I was in Washington, D.C., and I kind of feel like, if anything, out of the two of us, I was certainly more a victim than you were.
Why?
I was a 5-minute drive from where one of the planes hit, the
Twin
Pentagon.
Towers.
The Pentagon. You mentioned earlier, Washington, D.C., we had our own 9/11.
Yeah. But the Pentagon, that doesn't count.
Counted for me, counted for the people who lost their lives, counted for the people on the
That's-
plane. What do you mean?
That's
it
a
doesn't-
footnote.
What do you mean it was a footnote?
It's a foot. I mean, look, I
you
saw
mean
the
it was a
smoke.
foot-
I saw the smoke.
You saw the smoke. So in your eyes, you seeing the smoke
I
is
was-
less of a footnote.
I
than
was a
me
40-minute drive away from the Twin Towers without traffic.
with traffic. How much?
Probably about hour 20.
Hour 20. So
Yeah.
let's say on 9/11, it's an
Uh-huh.
hour 20 because
Yeah.
I'm sure there was a lot of traffic leaving New York. So you think being an hour and 20 minutes, you think anyone, barely anyone died at the Pentagon because it is a well-defensed building, but the people on the plane died. So I'm not going to hear the Pentagon 9/11 slander in my chat. Not tonight.
I
So
mean,
you think-
all respect to the people that died. They were leaving Newark International Airport.
They were going to Newark?
They were coming from Newark.
Oh, gotcha.
I
So
believe. I'd like to think.
you'd like to think.
I'd like to think.
But
It
when-
just it makes it a little more not romantic. Romantic's not the
romantic
right word.
isn't the word I used to describe any part of 9/11, John.
Ah, well, I bet there were some great love stories that happened that day. You know, the chaos of pending doom, two people drawn together. I'd like to imagine that a lot of people fell in love on 9/11.
You know, I guess
makes
I
me
don't
smile.
have all the data, but here we got a call coming in, John. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from? To respect John's
Hi,
question.
My name is Benedetto.
Wait,
No shit.
what? Sorry. Continue.
Is this actually Benedetto?
Yeah.
My fucking God.
Uh-huh.
I would say Benedetto, you are the definition of first time, long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn. Well, fucking welcome. I mean, this is an incredible pleasure for me, one of the longtime chatters of this show, engaging in the phone element for the first time tonight. So Benedetto, let's give him a snap of applause from John. Now, Benedetto, are you calling in because you have a poem?
I do.
And where are you
Okay.
calling in from?
Kansas.
Kansas. Incredible.
Yeah.
All right. Well, whenever
Noted.
you're ready.
Noted.
Noted.
Oh, okay. Okay. This is a poem about Kate Micucci.
To wait one moment. Should I know?
Of Garfunkel and Oates fame?
Oh, I like their songs.
Right. Okay.
The
That's what
sound of silence. Continue.
That's not quite. All right. Yeah. Keep going.
Okay. Kate Micucci. Kate Micucci. Favorite film, Death to Smoochie. Got in a knife fight with Danny Bonaducci. Brain exploded while she was taking a poochie. Rebuilt by science. Now she's Gucci. Stolen Emmy from Susan Lucci. Knows the direction to pass the Ducci. Started a cult that worships Christy Yamaguchi. Way down yonder on the Chattahoochee. Is the dreamer, Monica Bellucci.
That was legit amazing, Benedetto. I thought that was really funny. I really like the way that you rhymed Kate Micucci. I mean, at least 12 different times, man. That was amazing.
I still. So it's not Simon and Garfunkel.
No, Garfunkel and Oates is sort of a silly. They kind of do humorous songs. It's two women, Kate Micucci and someone.
Can I
don't
see
remember.
a photo of Kate Micucci?
Could you see a photo of Kate Micucci? Yeah, 1 second. Is that? I guess I kind of feel like that shouldn't.
I feel like
affect
it
your
would
rate.
help.
Yeah, maybe in your case it might. All right, Kate Micucci.
Because I grew up in New Jersey around a lot of Italian women. They're always feisty. They're always loud, right in your face, but often gorgeous.
All right, take a look at Kate Micucci.
How do I?
Oh, I'm sorry, John. You can kind of just scroll through. All right, he's taking a second, folks. Benedetto, I'll say this is. I think this has been my favorite poem of the night.
Really?
You know, I loved it. Okay, he's slamming a door. I think he just went outside. He's outside, so he's left the garage. I'm not really sure what exactly he's doing. I'm a little worried because he did take the phone and he seemed. I mean, folks, did you? I saw him looking at the pictures. What was the attitude? He's gone gooning. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm worried about.
Oh,
Hey, John. Johnny, all right out there? It's Scott. I'm giving him the name that he called me earlier. I'm hoping that can kind of wrangle him back in.
oh.
What do you think he's doing, Benedetto?
I want to go with gooning too.
You're going to go with Goonin as well. I mean, it seems the most likely. I guess, well, Goonin means he won't actually release, right?
For a while, yeah.
Right. He won't release. So I'm hoping, you know, I guess the worry part is, oh, he's coming back. All right. Thank you, John. Finished with what?
Had to go outside. I see why she was inspiring to you.
Oh, yeah.
Well, John, what score would you give the poem?
I forgot about the poem.
You forgot about the poem. So no score?
No score.
No score. Okay. Benedetto, thank you for calling in. I loved it. It was great to hear from you, man. Your score is no score.
Oh, that's a shame, but all right.
All right. Take care.
I had fun. Bye-bye.
She looks like Joyce DeWitt. Do you remember Joyce DeWitt from Three's Company?
Yeah, kind of.
Come and knock on our door. I would like to. We've been waiting for you, oh me. Where the kisses are hers and John's.
I mean,
Do you have a printer?
no score. I don't have a printer in here.
Okay. Do you have a printer nearby?
What hand did you use?
To do what?
Well, I'm wondering, was it only in one hand the whole time?
I was holding it with both hands.
You were holding the phone with both hands?
Yeah.
And did you take your hands off the phone at any time?
No.
So what did you do out there, John?
What did you think I was doing?
I don't know, John. You came back and you were like, whew, I thought you were going to fucking have the damn orange juice out of the fridge. Glug, glug, glug. I mean,
You have
something was...
orange juice?
I don't have any orange juice. I'm sorry.
I don't know what you're thinking.
What were you doing then? It's a simple question. You don't think they deserve to hear what you just said?
No.
John, I think it would benefit everyone if you could be honest in this moment.
I could talk guy to guy, but it's embarrassing to tell the class.
It's embarrassing to tell the class. Okay.
I pressed myself up against the garage and released.
He pressed himself up against the
It
garage.
didn't feel good to say out loud.
I bet not.
Do you know Kate Micucci?
I do not know Kate Micucci.
But is she in this town?
I don't know. I mean, maybe she's in Holly Weird, as we call it.
Do you think Sarah Squirts knows Kate Micucci?
I think. Do I know? Does Sarah Squirts know Kate Micucci? I don't know if she does, honestly.
I would like Kate Micucci's phone.
Yeah, I mean, so is it just running down your leg? I mean, what do you mean you released and then you just came back in here?
Do I gotta spell it out?
I mean, do you have any sort of?
You're a guy.
You don't have any actionable plan here.
You're a guy.
What are you just ruining pants? I'm not.
These
No.
pants
This
are
isn't I'm a
corduroy.
guy situation. I've never pressed myself up a garage
Come
and
on.
released
Come on.
in my life, even as a child.
We have fun. I press it up. It's in the corduroys. It's bleeding into the material. Don't worry.
All right, man. It's like the scene in Fear and Loathing. Pants completely crusted over. Wash that chair after this. I might have to. Thank you for the follow, Amy.
It's not on
There's-
the chair.
Well, it might be, man. I mean, how thick are those fucking pants?
They're pretty thick.
You think none is going to get through?
I don't think any.
Even a microscopic amount.
I mean, these pants have seen a lot. Is all I'll say.
So what you're telling me is that you're sitting down in some fucking dirty cum-covered pants on my chair?
Yes. Guilty as
Do you-
charged.
do you think that's polite in modern company? Do you think that's polite in modern society to do to a person invites you on their show? I mean, this is sort
You're
of
being a real square about this. I thought you were. Look, you dragged this out of me. I didn't want to talk about it. I clearly went outside for privacy. I could have just done
but
it
you're in
against
the
this
middle.
green
You're
wall
in the,
over
you,
here.
you don't have privacy when you're in the middle of a performance. Imagine this. Let's see
Okay.
if you can get this through your head. Imagine you're hosting a poetry night,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
And I get up and I do beat poetry.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, flowers for Algernon, looking so green. I feel like I
Why don't we
might-
just use a fantasy poem that you don't have to say out loud?
Okay, all right, fine. Well, God, all right. So, okay, imagine I in my poem, one of the punchlines is Mila Kunis. I'm like, oh, what does she look like?
What does she look like?
I'm not going to show you, man. But I pull up a picture of
Mila
my phone,
Kunis.
and I show,
That sounds exotic.
and then I pull up a picture of her, and I say, hold on, I'm still in
Let's
the
just
poem.
do the demonstration.
I'm not going to pull up another picture of her. I'll show it to you on the phone, but I'm not going to. I can show you, but you cannot have the phone. Okay.
Okay.
Is that fair?
That's fair. Fair's fair.
All right. Hold on.
Because you're using this as an example
I'm
of a
trying
Kate
to-
Micucci type.
I'm trying to use this as
And
an
I didn't know
example.
about Kate Micucci.
And you didn't know about Kate Micucci. What the fuck? Hold on. Like Google Chrome.
You wouldn't last a second in the 60s, is all I'm saying.
Do you think guys in the 60s were pressing their
My crowd was.
flowers for Algernon, but it's Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher? That's a funny idea. Okay.
And when you're done, can you pull up a picture of Ashton Kutcher?
Yes. So there's a picture of Kate Micucci, or of Mila Kunis.
Okay, next photo. Next photo. Next photo. Next photo.
Okay. So imagine I looked at those photos during my beat. What are you doing? What are you doing, man? No! John, no! Are you releasing? Are you releasing in the chair?
I'm sorry.
Are you proud of yourself, man? Releasing in another man's chair?
I see what you're saying before. I don't think I actually released outside. I thought it was maybe the cold or something that I just didn't feel it.
So you're saying that you didn't release outside and now you've released
I thought
it
I
in the
did.
chair?
I certainly had the
What do you mean you
sensation
thought
of
you
release.
did?
I thought I did.
You felt
These are very thick
wait, hold on,
corduroys, and I have
You
long
felt
johns
your
underneath.
penis ejaculate, but now you're not sure if you felt your penis
I
ejaculate.
felt an orgasm, which is in the mind.
It's also in the penis.
Let's call it the root chakra to be.
All right. We'll call,
polite.
okay. You ejaculated out of your root chakra on my fucking chair is what just happened.
Not on your chair.
In around it.
I can't. You wouldn't last a day at Woodstock.
Do you think that people were sitting in chairs and just cumming their fucking jeans at Woodstock? That's
These
what you
are
think?
chords.
Fine. They're cumming their root chakras, cumming their chords. Root
This is a
chakra in
little
their chords.
embarrassing that you're making such a big deal of it. It
Well, I
made me
don't.
self-conscious.
I think it's a little embarrassing that a grown man think it's appropriate to release his root chakra during a live
I
in
didn't
front of a
think it
live
was
studio
appropriate.
audience.
You were giving me a demonstration of it. Can I see Ashton Kutcher?
Yeah, you can see it. Well, all right. I'll show you Ashton Kutcher because I don't think this is going to do much to you, but I actually don't know.
I'm excited to see what he looks like. Oh. Huh. I mean, he's very handsome. Wait, can you zoom in on that one?
No.
I gotta go outside.
No, come on, John. John, please. John, please don't. Please don't, John.
I didn't.
You didn't? So where did you?
Ah.
No, come on, man. Come on, John. John, please. John, please come back in here. John, please come back in here. That one felt too fast. Did you?
I did it again.
Jesus Christ. So it's 2 in a row? Can we put down a paper towel or something under you?
Of course.
All right, stand up for a second. You're like a fucking dog, man.
Really sorry about this.
Yeah, man. Apology, honestly, if I'm going to be real, not accepted. I've done this show with dozens and dozens of people, maybe hundreds at this point. I've never even come close to having the kind of problems I've had here tonight with you.
Well, they were on a red carpet. This Ashton guy,
Right.
and he was with Mila Kunis, and she was wearing.
No, John. No, come on, man. Think about something else. Think about something else. Up here. Look at the background. Ooh, there's money flying around.
American football.
American football. That's the opposite of an orgasm to you.
That's the opposite of anything
A
I
root
like.
chakra exploding.
It's the opposite of anything I like.
Nuns playing baseball. I don't know if that would be. No, come on. God damn it. Bowmore, come on, man. If there's there's even a hair of a woman, I mean, that's why I'm worried about the American football, but hopefully we won't get there with him. John, come back. How old are you, John?
Look, false alarm, but I don't know if you've ever seen this movie Sister Act.
With Whoopi Goldberg?
It's got Whoopi Goldberg in it.
Right.
And she is not your average nun.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So when you
Wouldn't mind her slapping me on the wrist with a ruler.
I guess what I'm surprised, John, is that you can let your root chakra fly 3 times in a row. Given, I mean, triangulating your age here a little bit, you're saying you wouldn't have survived the 60s.
Well, have you ever used most of a thing of toothpaste?
Yeah.
Well, if you work really hard enough, you could always get a little more out.
Right. And
that's kind of what happened here.
I see. So you're saying there was like a main one and then there was a little more after.
Yes.
Yeah. Aftershock, if you will.
An aftershock is
Yeah.
a nice way to put it.
Yeah. Is John the only one getting 1 rope out per release? You know, Tanner, we don't need to get into that. There is no one on the phone right now, folks, but hopefully we can get this back on track. This is a contest. Whoever has the best poem tonight does win 5 cold, hard American dollars. Right now, in the lead is Zach, Vertical Mammal, with a 2 out of 10. Everyone else has received less than that or no score at all. What are you wiping? You smelling your hand? What did you need to smell for? You just said you do
You
it.
smell like pennies still.
Is that a sign of something?
Well, I thought because I was perspiring so much that I would not smell the pennies. Because right now,
No,
Very
please,
wet.
Please.
I didn't touch myself.
I know, man, but it's sort of like it's the idea of it. It's like it's around you.
Okay.
What if you get? I mean, how did you get here? Public transit, I gotta imagine.
No, I walked.
Are you getting a rash on your way home? You're just gonna fucking freeball it. You're covered in your own seed, rubbing your thighs together. You got a call coming in.
It's absorbent. It's corduroys.
Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your name? And where are you
Hey,
calling
this
from?
is Zach again, Vertical Mammal.
Vertical Mammal. How are you?
Oh, good. I was feeling inspired.
Okay.
Yeah, you ready?
Yeah. Lay it on us.
There once was a man named John Gentle, whose corduroy stood up like a tent pole. When he saw Kate McCoochie, to the alley he scoochied, and forgot all about Benedetto.
I like it.
You like it?
I like it.
You like it, John? What's your score?
A 3.
A 3. Wow. Well, Zach,
Nice.
you've officially topped yourself, and you're at the
I'm not going
highest.
to win any awards for that, but
It
was about me.
You're in the lead. So that's interesting. So seemingly, if the poem is about John Gentle, that's going to win some points.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I noticed
huh?
you did a few limericks earlier, so I think that maybe also helped.
Right.
Choosing the limerick form.
I
Right.
think a limerick is
A
beautiful.
limerick's beautiful, and a limerick specifically about the judge is really going to go places.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, that was beautiful, Zach. Wow.
Somebody commented on a
thank you.
curve.
Huh?
There's no curves in a John Gentle classroom.
There's no curves.
No grading on a curve.
No grading on a curve.
If everybody gets a D, then everybody's getting a D. The D's don't suddenly become A's.
And I've heard that's the way you prefer it in your classroom, where they all get the D's.
You've heard it? Are you in touch with any of my former students? Do you know Amanda?
No,
No.
no Amanda's.
If anybody, well, nobody would.
Nobody probably knows Amanda here. I'm guessing there's a reason you don't have contact with Amanda. Is that fair?
Well, there's just many Amanda Smiths. And when I go to the library, they say there's many Amanda Smiths. I can't narrow it down to just
Right.
one.
Yeah. Do you think Amanda would enjoy hearing from you?
I think so.
I don't. All right. Well, Vertical Mammal, thank you for calling in. You're now even have further cemented your place at the top of the leaderboards.
Awesome. Thanks again.
All right. Take care. Amanda's Smith. That is true. Boutros. Welcome to the chat. If it was Amanda's Smith, it might be a little easier to find. You want this little pin, John?
What is that?
I believe it's for a gaming computer company. I received it at TwitchCon. Nope,
Get
not
out.
for you.
Get out of here.
So we got Zach, 3 out of 10, is in the lead. A lot of great poems tonight. Zach cannot be beat. Bob Jones, Benedetto. These have all been great poems. But oh damn, John, this time has really flown with you, folks. We have about 30 minutes left.
Oh, wow.
Can you believe that? Luke, did you go to the When We Were Young festival? No, but my friends were working at it, and I saw a lot of the people that were there. But that were going to it, and they were sort of. This is an emo festival. I can't imagine that's a type of music that you're familiar with.
Emo. What is that?
Punk music.
Ugh.
Even worse, John.
All right.
Even worse. Let's get this air on. Let's get a little-
Emo.
Emo.
I don't get it. I would love to hear some more poetry.
I would also love to hear some more poetry.
If anybody, look, I know it seems like I've been hard on everybody, but everybody's been genuinely bad.
Well, I'd like to. Okay, can you give me like 2 minutes to write down a poem I'd like to read to you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I will do. Can I actually enter my own poetry into the competition?
I mean, I guess you're kind of setting the rules, so
Okay.
I mean, it kind of feels like a
So he's asking what's John Gentle's favorite poem, his own or someone else's. I'll give it to you right now. Late Wednesday night, I start to head home. I'm not looking forward to dinner alone. I don't have a family, no daughter, no son. The kids that work at ShopRite call me dinner for one. I have no need for plates because my dinners come in trays, and I have no one's hand to hold when it's time to say grace, and I'd say thanks to God, but he doesn't exist. He wouldn't let nobody live a life like this. I want to take a flight right into the sun. I don't have a ticket, but I do have a gun.
John, it's hard to stay mad at you. Can I tell you why? Because a lot of your art seems to reflect the artist.
Thank
what's
you.
going on in
Thank you.
the artist's life.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like you're having a bit of a rough go of it.
I wouldn't say that. I'm happy with my books and my pennies.
So wait, hold on. You said you didn't know why your hands smelled like pennies.
No, I have pennies at home, but I haven't touched them in days.
How much are you touching the pennies, man?
I don't know. You tell me.
No, God, stop. I don't want to smell the pennies. Dick Cheney was assigned to help the Bush campaign to pick a VP candidate, and he picked himself. That means it's fair for John to be in his own competition. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
And by the way, I hate Bush.
You do?
The president.
It's junior or senior?
The president.
Oh, but you like Bush as in ladies.
Yes.
All right.
Joni Mitchell.
Can I read you my poem?
All right.
Okay, hold on. A man came to my house and he jismed. It created between us a schism. The chairs, they were soaked. It seemed like a joke. How could a human do such an act of barbarism?
Sex negative. That's a 0.
That's not sex negative.
That's a 0.
What's sex negative about that?
You don't like
It's
pleasure.
not sex. You think that sex is. Hold on. Fuck you guys, shit meter. Hey! Chair was soaked.
The chair is fine.
That's not sex negative.
It's damp at most.
Do you think that pressing yourself against a garage and releasing counts as sex?
Depends on how you do it.
Okay, I'll bite. What's the way?
Well, you just press it.
Barbarism doesn't rhyme with joke. It was one of those. You know what? Shut the fuck up. What?
You just press your penis against the aluminum siding.
So what? So that's the way it's sex?
Yeah.
What way is it not sex?
I don't know. I'm arguing that it's
No,
sex.
but you said, I'm going to split hairs here because you're a
Okay.
bit of a wordsmith. You said,
Yes.
well, it depends on how you do it. Okay, so I'm asking you, what way do you do it? Is it sex? And what way do you do it? Is it not sex in your mind?
It's always sex.
It's always sex.
It's always sex.
It's always sex
And
to
you
press
being-
yourself up against aluminum siding and release. That's always sex to you.
It's always sex. And you being, a little square about it is it's not a good look.
Let's run a poll in the chat. Let's run a poll in the chat. Do we think that we think pressing ourselves against aluminum siding until our root chakra releases is sex? We'll let the people decide, John. Because I've got to be honest, John, I think I've had about my fill of you. I'm all fill up.
Not me. I'm running dry.
Yeah. It's all released.
Where is the nearest printer? Because I could
What do
print
you
it
need
out.
the printer for? You want to print out pictures of Kate McCucci?
And Mila Kunis.
Do you have
that
a
one
computer?
photo of Ashton Kutcher with Mila Kunis.
Do you have a computer?
I have one at the library I walk to.
Do you have a phone?
I have a telephone.
Do you have a cell phone?
No.
Why not?
Do I need that constant buzz, 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 tap, 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 tap? I don't even know what they do.
Right. Presumably the corridor is.
But if I had a cell phone, I'd be able to save pictures of Mila Kunis and Kate McCucci.
Is
to
there a
it.
barrier? Yeah, there's a barrier because he's got the thick corduroys, and then so are the corduroys part of it? Like, is that an easier pant to come in?
Well, Corduroys are very warm, and when you're pressing up against cold aluminum siding, it helps.
Okay. They're ribbed for his pleasure. That's very funny.
Thank you. It's very nice. Ribbed for his pleasure. I like that.
You might be able to put that in one of your poems, huh?
What is that a reference to something?
Do you ever use condoms that are
No.
ribbed? You've never used a condom?
No.
You ever had sex with a woman? And
Absolutely.
you've never used a condom?
No.
I mean, now we're talking about being sex negative. Don't you think that's a bit sex negative of you?
I mean, it's been a while. I don't even know if condoms were around the last time I...
Condoms are much old. I mean, that's one of the oldest things. They used to make it out of sheepskin.
Yeah, but that was only for, the really grotesque.
I don't think so. I think that was for everyone.
I wasn't
You could still buy those.
tromping around Paris 1876.
That's where you would get a sheepskin condom.
That's where I'd use one
That's where you'd use one.
and have in my fantasies.
A poet must not shut himself up.
Thank
from
you.
The whole human experience. Well, isn't part of the whole human experience using a fucking condom sometimes?
Look, that tugboat commander puts it well. A poet must not shut himself off from the whole human experience. And what you're doing is you're coming in here.
Right.
I am giving you my poetry,
Mm-hmm.
putting myself on the line, being honest, being open, and all you're doing is judging me.
I'm not-
Judging me very harshly, and I think that's
No.
very unfair.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry. This is just, it's a bit tiring. This tete-a-tete with you, John, because you're mincing words here. And you're saying I have a problem with your poetry. I have not had a problem with a single one of your poems tonight. What I had a problem is that you've released your root chakra 3 times inside my garage.
You winced
inside
when I
my
said
studio.
tasting her gash.
What?
You winced when I said tasting her gash. I could see it
I
out of the
didn't
corner
love
of my
it,
eye.
but I let you do it. I mean, I'm allowed. Is the audience not allowed to react to the art? I'm not allowed to have my honest reaction.
You're just being extra critical of it. And
I'm
I
not
don't think you
being
need to be.
It's not. I'm not being extra critical to wince when I hear. That's a phrase I hear every day. Look, what is it? Look at her gash.
I tasted her gash.
I tasted her gash. That's not really a thing I'm used to hearing a lot. So it
Okay.
caught me off guard.
Well, I'm more
But
liberal
you're a little
minded.
bit. You're trying a little to distract me here because that's not what we're talking about. Because
No,
what the
it's actually what we're talking
in
about.
what way?
Because I am your guest. I am coming out of my way to sit here, and you're just saying, "Oh, your poetry's bad,
Nope, I
and
didn't
you're a
say
sad
that, John.
sack, and you're
I didn't say
judging
you're
me."
a sad sack.
If you
I didn't say your
had to grade
poetry's
my
sad.
poetry, how would you grade it?
I would grade your poetry a 10 out of 10. I would
Thank
grade your behavior here tonight a negative a million out of 10. That's right, negative a million. John, because you came inside my garage, you came outside of my garage, all in your pants. Oh, thank you, John. Thank you so much for leaving it in your corduroys. You think with 3 loads, that's not going to go through the fucking pants, man?
It was 2 loads.
How thick are these, huh?
It was
not
2
that
loads.
thick.
It was 2
Not
loads.
that thick. And you said you had a big flow, remember? How big's the load, John? Be honest with us. In quarts, how big is the load?
It's a drip. It's a small drip.
It's a drip. So you're putting out dots. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
And that's why it hasn't been a problem the entire
Yes.
time.
So you are overreacting, and you're making a fool of yourself. I don't understand how you
Someone
could
comes
judge a
comes,
poet
no,
like
listen
this.
to me. Listen to me. How do you
Putting
think
myself out there.
How do you think your audience would react if you go to one of your open mic nights? I'm going to give you this again. Let me show you. Look, imagine this.
Okay.
I'm going to speak loud so you can hear me. I'm back here. Imagine I'm on stage, right?
Yes.
And I'm giving it, and then this is what I do, okay? And then this is what I do. Imagine I'm in your jazz club or wherever the fuck you do it, and then I do this. Mila Kunis.
First, I wasn't touching myself.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
And then I came back and I did the poem. Would you be happy about that? Would you be sad about that? I mean, how would you feel if I did that? A bunch of paying customers in the audience, or maybe we're doing Pass the Hat that night. How would you feel about
You
that?
got to get it out. You got to get it out.
So that would
one way
be
or
fine
another.
with you.
That'd be fine with
So
me.
you're saying anytime anyone, if they have to get it out, is allowed to come everywhere.
You're getting a
anywhere
call.
they want. All right, let's get a call. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling
Hey,
from?
Luke, how's it going? This is,
How are you?
Finnegan Hands. I'm good. This is Finnegan Hands calling from Bryn Mawr, outside of Philadelphia.
Bryn Mawr. That's great. Do you have a poem for us tonight?
I have a few poems. I thought theme of the night seems to be pretty disgusting, and John seems to be doing some unfortunate sexual miscreant deviant business. So I thought I might read
Judgy,
I would call it
judgy.
that. That's exact caller. That's a great way to put it. He's done. It's exactly what I would call that. I'm not being sex negative. I'm calling out sexual deviancy when I see it around me in my place of work. This is work for me, by the way.
No, I understand it's deeply unprofessional. I wouldn't have any of it, but I figured as long as we're here, I might as well read him some not ostensibly erotic poetry, but something that might make him blow his load so hard that he'll be, up to the moon or something.
All right.
I have
Well,
3 poems if you'll indulge me.
okay. Yeah, hit it.
Indulgence is fine.
Hit it. I mean, at this point, it seems like there's only drips coming out. So let's 2 more drips. So take it away, caller.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. This first one, there's one, first of 3. And to try to say daylight is awkward like faces, reading always precedes this, the written. You are the one who is outside the special protection of seeing. Later, in a murmur of birches, everything is illness, long heat waves, too many insects. I kiss you. I piss into the glade. Shade is poorly described in the gardening literature. I who write this, which is so easily written, am dead. Oceans are hatred. The cold makes us younger. Our palms and throats are stretched as iron is sometimes stretched. The weather resembles memory's haphazard principles. I close my eyes so that you won't see that I am looking at you. That's just the first poem. I don't know how you felt about that one. I can just keep going if you want.
Yes. Yes, please.
Okay, just keep going.
All
That was
right.
great, though.
Thank you. And the second one, this is called Irises. It is now April. The very lightest, whitest snow still falls. Sometimes I wish that you that day really died. And further down in the room, hands rush together all at once, and your forehead, and still further down your right or left eye's iris. So right at the end, right against the winter weather, a place awaits in which you are not dead. There the blue is desire, there the gray is longing, like the private and the dumb dust. That was number 2.
Beautiful.
And here's poem number 3. After this, I'll get out of your hair. Entering you head against head, hair by hair, mouth against mouth. I inhale the air you breathe, memory, stillness in the dying. Afternoon light, endless ray, piercing, burning bones, touching. Your body's edge, day's light, catching the shape. Witness, a wide void where whiteness erases marks in the sand. Your face a sound devour the day, burning slowly. Your thick texture turning to ashes in the hungry night of the senses.
Caller, this is what I want to say to you. If you took every single one of John Gentle's poems and you measured their artistic worth and you combined all of that artistic worth into one kind of super poem, it wouldn't even hold the faintest candle to even one of your 3 poems. Those were beautiful. They were amazing. They were well thought out. 10 out of 10 from me.
I appreciate it, Luke. I was just, figured I'd just standard business. Just,
That's great. It was amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. John, what do you have to say? Okay.
I think you might be stuck in a refractory period.
Yeah, I think you might be stuck in a refractory period. So, caller, I'll let you off the line. We'll see if we can get John to...
What? Sorry.
What?
Yes, caller, whenever you're ready with your poem.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry.
He just did the poems.
Oh, I wasn't listening. I'm sorry.
So, I thought you were going to say you were asleep. You just weren't. So you were awake. You just weren't listening?
I was thinking.
Thinking about what? Were you thinking about Mila Kunis and Kate Micucci?
Guilty as charged.
Jesus fucking Christ. All right, well, I'm not going to have him give those beautiful poems again, so you have to give him a fucking score.
Oh, 0? I don't know.
God damn it. All right.
I'm sorry, caller.
Thank you for calling in, and thank you for trying.
That's all right. I don't need the approval of the sexually deviant and the weak-minded. Anyway, have a nice
Exactly right. Exactly right. That's what's up.
He said sexual deviant, which, sure. But you're weak-minded.
No, he was calling you both of those things.
I'm not weak-minded.
You literally just got distracted like a teenage boy. What is this? What are you doing?
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Were you thinking?
I was thinking about Mila Kunis and Kate Micucci.
How are you a man?
Are they in any pictures together?
Well, now I'm curious. Let's check. But I'm not showing you, man. Kate Micucci and Mila Kunis.
I would love. Is there a picture of them together?
Yes, John. I heard you the first time. I don't think there is.
Are they in any pictures together?
I don't think they are, John. And I'm not going to show you any pictures of just them by themselves. Are you?
By pictures,
What is this?
What?
You said you're not. What was that, man? You were grabbing there.
I was thinking about. When I say picture, I meant motion picture. That's what we used to call it back in the days.
What were you doing on your pants?
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't.
You were just grabbing that area? Because I remember what you said to me. You didn't touch down there when you had my phone. That's what you said. I'm kind of finding that hard to fucking believe when you're imagining a picture, not even looking at a picture of Mila Kunis and Kate Micucci, and you're sort of grabbing down there.
I'm not grabbing anything.
You didn't grab there. Now you're grabbing there. You were grabbing here. Why?
Why are you policing my body? I heard a student say that.
Yeah,
once.
where did you learn that from? That was my question. Do you even know what the fuck that means?
Well, a student said it to me once.
How much time?
And I was complimenting her.
How much time do we have left? 15 minutes. Let's get through this, folks.
Can I tell you about this new venture I'm doing?
Sure.
So a victim of cancel culture. I wouldn't put it in those words, but yes, one would say my job as a professor was canceled by the administration. And
for what? I mean, can you just, let's not be cute about it.
Long story.
Long story. What did it say?
You said we only have 15 minutes?
No.
I won't be able to get to it.
I bet there was a sheet somewhere that said when you're let go, it said reason for termination. And it was probably 1 or 2 sentences. Why don't you give us that version?
It wasn't 2 sentences. So I missed being on the campus. And, September rolls around, October, the leaves are changing. I'm like, I miss the academic world. I miss the campus. I miss my little tree. And I'd sit under. I'd sit under and I'd read poetry under my little tree. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to be there. I had this old colleague. His name was Erwin Bernard Rosen. And he I'm smiling, but he passed away. I'm smiling because I'm thinking of the memories.
Right.
But yes, he passed away, and I was very close with him.
Uh-huh.
We both bonded over the love of jazz, and I
Right.
said that someday I would love to have my own jazz show. And he said, John, when I'm off this earthly plane, you can have my jazz show. I want there always to be a jazz show on the campus radio station.
Radio, I see.
So now that he died, I am back on campus. Because
They
it was,
let
his,
you back on campus.
it was his dying wish.
Oh, that's
And that overrules everything.
Does it?
Absolutely.
All right, I like this idea. How does it start and how does it end? Let's get the first sentence of why you were terminated and the last sentence.
John has acted inappropriately. And then it ends with forever.
It's forever. Is that
Yeah.
an implication of how long you're banned from campus?
I don't remember.
Do they know that you're on the campus doing the jazz show?
Well, they're giving me a real hard time when I'm checking into security.
Really?
Yeah, they're saying.
So they're
well,
making you check through security. So what? I'm curious. What are they checking you for?
well, you check your ID at the front gate, and then
Uh-huh.
they say, "Well, you're not supposed to be in here." And I said, "It was his dying wish."
I did do a poem. It was about how John soaked my fucking chairs. Mr. Gentle needs elbow patches for his sport coat.
I do like that look.
Yeah, I did a limerick and I got a 0.
Yeah. So since I do it on Sunday mornings at 7 a.m., I am able to just kind of get past the security guard one way or another.
Uh-huh.
And I've been
What do you mean get
broadcasting.
past this. So what, you're not letting. So they're saying that they would. They're stopping you or they're checking you for something. They wouldn't let you in.
They're saying blah blah blah. You shouldn't be here. And I
Right.
say it was his Erwin Bernard Rosen's dying
And who was
wish.
Erwin Bernard Rosen? Was he a teacher?
He was a tenured professor.
Okay. Were you a tenured professor?
I was.
You lost tenure over what you did.
Yes.
That's hard, John. You know that, right? It is literally very hard for a teacher to lose their tenure.
I know.
Extremely, honestly. There has to be extreme misconduct. Like I think it's oftentimes you can counter.
I get your point. So I've been doing my own radio show.
Mm-hmm.
It's called The John Gentle Show. It's a talk show.
You do a talk show.
I do it just like you.
Didn't Bernard Rosen want you to do a jazz show?
Yeah, but I didn't like the format of that. I thought it'd be better if I would just speak to some of the
dying
people.
wish was for you to keep jazz alive on campus.
when you put it that way, I guess you're right. But I think he'd approve of what I'm doing with the time.
Is there
slot
any
right
jazz on the show?
now. But we play jazz at the introduction to the show.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. Okay. So it's a talk show.
And I'm very excited. I recently invited the pretty waitress that works at the TikTok Diner over
To the show?
Yeah. So I'm hoping.
TikTok Diner is what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a great diner off of Route 3, and she said she'll think about it, and I sweetened the deal.
And this is at 7 a.m. on Sundays is when the guests have to be there.
Mhm.
Who
But
have you-
she works at the diner at 6 a.m. So she's up already.
till 6 a.m.
No, she'll have a morning shift on weekdays. I know she doesn't have that slot on weekend. I know her schedule pretty well.
How?
I go to the diner every day.
Okay. What are you
Wait.
getting? Black warm water. Right. Yeah.
No, I get a hearty meal.
Okay.
And then I'll go to either a college campus to teach a class, or I'll go to a Wendy's to sit for a few hours and read.
What's the percentage of one to the other? How often? do
I
you go
would
to the-
say in my whole life, it's been
not your whole life. Recently,
I've been opting for Wendy's.
opting.
Okay,
so you're doing this. What kind of guests do you have on the show?
Well, I have people from around the campus and some students, some fellow colleagues. I'm really hoping this waitress. I sweeten the deal.
How'd you sweeten the deal?
So there's this thing where if you give a girl money, it feels gratifying. And you don't need to necessarily pay for a service. You could actually set up a sort of just like a transaction for no reason and give her money. And I've I had to take
So
out a
you're-
loan for
you're-
this.
You
but
took out a loan for
I
it
took out a loan for
to
this.
be your
but
pay pig.
I am not a pig, sir. I am
That's what it is.
I am a
though. You know that
respectful
term.
gentleman.
You've heard that term, right? Pay pig.
I've not heard that term. Is that what they call it?
When you're sort
Then
of
oink oink. I'm a proud piggy.
okay.
Because I get so much out of this. But she said I'd really have to make it worth her while
right.
for her to come on the show.
Right. So you paid kind of your appearance fee.
Sure, yeah.
How
We
much?
can call it.
How much, John?
I don't want to say it out loud.
I think we'd all like to.
I don't.
Folks, I
People
think
don't
we'd all
care
like to
about
hear
the nuts
how
and
much you
bolts of
paid
making
her.
a talk show.
What did you tell the banker to get the loan? What did you tell him it was for? Couldn't have been to be a pay pig. Can't imagine. Yes, sir. Right away, Mr. Gentle. Pay pig money right away.
It's a nonprofit.
What's the nonprofit called?
I'm not profiting off of this.
So it's like a donation, is what you're saying?
That's what she said. Legally, it's a donation
to her.
Yeah.
I see. But the loan from the bank wasn't a donation. I mean, you have to pay that back.
No.
How much did you pay her? Come on, John. Be honest with us. I think we all appreciate some honesty tonight.
$67,000.
What?
$67,000.
What was that?
$67,000.
$67,000.
Well, I had savings for my previous job, but that runs real dry.
Right.
And
So how much money do you have now?
well, I was going to ask you if this, because I pay some of my guests.
This does not pay. This is for exposure.
Well, for instance, a guest that's coming up, I paid them $6,000 to appear on my show.
On your show?
Yes.
Who?
That's somebody I know.
You paid someone you know, not so it's someone you know that they wouldn't do it for free?
No, that's just the price I thought this person was worth. So I paid.
So
them
you're paying
$6,000.
them based on what would you pay me to be on the show?
I would pay you. I mean, I'm not asking you to be on the show. I'd
Okay.
probably pay you $8,000.
You pay me $8,000 to be on the show.
But I know not everybody has $8,000, so I would gladly accept $100 for my time.
Oh, I have to give you $8,000.
I would love that.
No. You wait. What? You just said you'd pay me.
You're going to
$8,000.
do that for me as a
Can we
thank
get
you?
a Halloween poem before we end, John, Mr. Gentle?
Halloween poem.
I'd love to hear this because we only have a couple minutes left, and then we have to announce the winner of this contest, folks.
I don't have any Halloween
You
poems.
don't have any Halloween poems. Incredible. Well, John, I mean, this has been a real pleasure. I think it's time to announce the winner of the contest.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
I gave myself a 10 for the poem I
Right.
read, so
So it's so funny because
I would get the $5.
John kind of floated this to me beforehand.
We agreed upon that I would be eligible.
No,
for the
we
contest.
agreed you'd be eligible on it, but it is. And I said you're the judge, but I'm kind of the.
You saw me Jerry too.
When you're the bank. I'm kind of the bank.
And
here.
executioner.
I'm kind of the bank here. You know what I mean?
You called me the jury.
I'm
And the
kind of the.
executioner.
I'm kind of the bank here. So when you wanted to, and you're kind of the winner is kind of the waitress at the TikTok diner. So it's kind of up to me whether the money goes to the waitress at the
Kathy.
TikTok. Okay, whether the money goes to Kathy, isn't it? It's not really up to John. John's just the middleman, huh? So I'm wondering, did John win this fucking contest? Are you going to pay John for the cum he left on our garage? No, he's going to fucking pay me for it. So, in fact, John, not only have you lost the contest, you've lost my estimation of you as a human being on planet Earth. I do not estimate you as anything better than a common dog or a cat. You're nothing to me after the behavior you showed here tonight. Do you understand that? Do you understand when you come to a man's house, his place of work, his place of business, and you cum your pants 3 times, and you press yourself against the garage, and you say a bunch of weird things about brothers of another color, I think was the phrase you
It's
used?
ebonics.
That is not what ebonics is. And I didn't like it the first time. I didn't like it the second time. And I don't like your
Look,
justification
this is not
now.
the first time I've been called subhuman or related to a lower animal. I could tell when I'm not wanted.
You
and
aren't
I can
wanted.
tell-
You aren't wanted.
I can
You
tell
are not
when I'm not
wanted.
loved.
You don't. You're not. You can tell it. I'm saying it. You don't have to tell. I'm saying you are not wanted here, sir. You are not wanted at this home, in this space, with these people. I had to. You think I've had to put fucking paper towel? You think I have children on this show? You think I have incontinent old grandmas on the show? I've never had to put paper towel down on a chair in my whole fucking life for another adult man. It's pathetic. You know that, right? Do you know that?
I know I'm pathetic.
Great. So, John, that's all I wanted to hear. Do you have any plugs, John, while I find someone to rate on Twitch?
You could check out the John Gentle Show. It's coming soon. You could follow me at John Gentle Poet, where I will put some of my poetry. But in reality, I don't think you're going to follow me on Instagram, and I don't think you're going to listen to my show because I'm worthless. And I guess I'll just go kill myself.
Don't you think this is a reason to John, come on. Don't you think, have you ever heard of taking John, come on. He's not killing himself, folks. He's just pressing himself up against the fucking garage, man. He's pressing himself up against the fucking garage, and he's coming his pants again. Yeah, that's right.
I left you alone, bitch.
The winner. God, he just threw the mic. Vertical animal, you are the winner. Send me your Venmo on IG, and I'll send you $5. John didn't win shit. John's a fucking nobody. All right, let's find someone to raid. Who are we raiding? Andrew Shaman. Okay, great. Hold on. Andrew Shaman. Andrew Shaman. Okay. Go give him a hearty hello from the Luke man. Benedetto, great to see you calling in tonight. First time, long time. John, you've made a mockery of this program. You're a disgrace, and I know you don't even have the guts to do it. The only thing you have the guts to do are to release your guts on the side of my garage. Take care, everyone. Good night.